My name is Robin Karasek and I'm a medical student at the St. James School of Medicine. I'm currently in my clinical clerkships. Why did I decide to become a doctor? Actually, I took the detour to medical school. I started out as a technologist in nuclear medicine when I was out of undergrad, and I really enjoyed it. I wanted more responsibility, however. I wanted more interaction with the patients, and unfortunately, that was not possible in the field of work I was in. You're unionized, and your job really plateaus 2 levels up. So I went into marketing and then got an MBA. I got all the responsibility I wanted, but I didn't get that patient interaction. I ended up working in a marketing firm where I worked 80 to 100 hours a week to have projects canceled at the last minute and a boss who would constantly tell me, "Don't worry about it, it's not like we save lives." So one day I quit and I decided I am going to go save lives. So at the age of 28, I enrolled into medical school. The reason I chose St. James, firstly, is that the Canadian medical school market is very difficult to get into as a student. There are quotas, there's only 17 schools, and going anywhere out of your own province skyrockets the tuition price. So going to the Caribbean was affordable and a very good career choice in a reasonable time frame. I did a lot of research to determine which Caribbean medical school I would attend. I actually visited one where my friend was attending, and what boiled it down for me to bring me to St. James was their incredible devotion to the accreditation process to help their students. I met with some students as well. There's a great student engagement online. I was able to get all my questions answered. And then of course, through the admissions process, I had applied to about 3 schools. No one helped me as much as the St. James advisors. I was on the phone with my advisor probably twice a day. I had the best experience and I would recommend it to everyone. St. James allowed me to pay a reasonable tuition, get all the resources and help that I needed, and then do those 2 years in the States where I'm exposed to all the US standards, US practices, and US physicians. I just finished my family medicine clerkship and I was lucky enough to work with a doctor who allowed us a lot of autonomy. She let us conduct the entire patient interview and the physical, as well as come up with a diagnosis. What I've realized is that all my training and all my academic knowledge allows me to put together a diagnosis, but I have really no idea yet how to treat a patient. So despite all those months of learning and believing that you really have all the knowledge there is to have in medicine, it's quite sobering to know that there's always something else to learn and every experience is enriching in every way. For me, going to the Caribbean meant I also had the option of either practicing in Canada or the United States. Originally, my plan was to stay in the United States and the Caribbean was the best path for me to choose. However, having that other option, knowing that I can do my Canadian exams and go back there, should my situation change in any way, is quite reassuring. I know that St. James prepares us extremely well for the US licensing exam as well as for the Canadian. I've heard of students who have performed exceptionally well on their Canadian licensing exam, who have obtained residency and even opened their own clinic. I would recommend the St. James School of Medicine to anyone who wants to begin a medical career. For Canadians like me, this is a great way to get into the United States to practice. For American citizens, this is a great opportunity at international experience that's invaluable once you get into your rotations and patient interactions. Also, tuition. For me, this was an issue, and the fact that I was able to pay for my medical school without getting incredibly indebted or owing my life to the bank was a great advantage. I've actually recommended 2 students to the school already. They are currently in their review semester and working towards getting into their clinical clerkships quite soon.